Hi, and welcome to the instructions for Excel Module 4 Quarter 1 Sales. Go ahead and open the attached workbook. And you have seen this in a previous module, but we're going to do different functions in this one. So go ahead and first thing you'll do is click C3, and you can look for today's date formula in formulas, or you can type it. And of course, it'll be the current date that you're working on this. So we need to insert a whole new column B. So I'm going to select, hover over the letter B, the column heading, click, and then just click insert, and it'll insert to the left. And then go ahead and type in the column name, and then you'll type in the abbreviations. Again, when it comes to one that you're repeating, you just have to type the lowercase and it works. And then go ahead and finish this. And then you're all set. I like to center these, so I select the first one, B6 all the way to B17, and then just center a line. And now I can delete this object. So it's actually two pieces. So I'll delete that first, and then also delete that as well. So the next thing we're going to do is add the January, February, March. So selecting F6, go ahead and use your auto sum, and it should automatically highlight equals sum C6 through E6. I'll use my check mark in the formula bar, which is also enter. And then I can just hover over the flash fill and just either hold and drag or double click. The bonus is 5%, and it's based on the total sales. So sitting in G6 equals, I'm going to press my left arrow, and it selects F6, asterisk, and then I'll select G6, and G6 is where the 5% sales bonus is, and it's always going to be, not G6, G3. It'll always be 3. I'm going to do it wrong for a minute, so I'm going to press enter. Then when I go to use my fill handle, I'm going to get some unique things, and I'll show you what's happening in the show formulas. So it wants to use that relative cell reference where the first one is F6, F7, F8. That's fine for the first part of the formula, but the second part, it started with G3, but then it assumed you want G4, G5, G6. So we don't want that. So I'm going to undo, and up in the formula bar, in place of G3, I want it $G, $3. So I can either, if you're using a MacBook, you have to type the $ manually, or if you're on a PC, you can just press the F4 key. Some computers, you have to also hold down the FN, which is a function key, function end control, F4, and it'll work. So now when I do my check mark and use the fill handle, and then if I were to show formula, they're all G3. So at any time, if I wanted to change the bonus, I would just change the bonus from 5% to 20, and it changes them automatically. But I'll go back to 5%. And then we'll do a few statistical calculations here. So I'll select F19. I'll use my down arrow because I don't want to add, and I'm looking for min, which is the same as smallest, and it goes down too far. It's selecting to F18, so it really should only go to F17. So you can either reselect, or I used the shift up arrow. As long as it comes to just F6 to F17, you're all set. Then I'll do the same thing, but for max, the largest amount. Again, that doesn't understand the range, you will manually, with the big plus sign, select F6 through F17 and enter, and then we'll do the average for the total sales, and again, down arrow, average. Again, it doesn't know the right range, so you select F6 to F17, and you should be all set. And the average is adding all of them up and dividing it by as many as there are. All right, so now click in A5. So in A5 where it says city, don't double click it so it's flashing. Just click in it once so that you just selected that cell. And what we're going to do now on the Home tab is choose Format as Table. You can choose from light, medium, or dark, and any shading you'd like. I like to have the two tones, so I'm going to go with blue table style medium 6, but you could also change your mind after. So it's showing that the range is starting with A5. Notice it's in absolute cell reference all the way to G17, which is perfect. Make sure that you have a check mark here because the table that we're creating does have headers. Otherwise, if you uncheck that, you'll still have city, state, January, February, but above it you have column 1, column 2, column 3, and you don't need 2 headings. So I'll go ahead and click OK. And at any point, if you wanted to change the color style, the table style, you could go in here as well. So I'll keep it blue. So what happens here is you are in what's called format as table, and you have these little markers here. And what you could do here, I'm going to go to the state one, and I could actually put it in alphabetic order by state, so that it's showing all Connecticut first, and then all Massachusetts. And then if I wanted to sort in ascending order, I could do that as well. If you wanted to undo the sort, which is in alphabetic ascending order, you would just use your Control Z or undo. But I'll leave it as it is. So now what I'd like to do is once it's sorted by state, I want it sorted by city so that all of the Connecticut's are first, but I would want them so Bristol should be first. If I were to click here and choose ascending order, it's going to put it in alphabetical order just by city, not by, so we lost the state order. So I'm going to do the undo so that I still have the state in alphabetical order first. And what I'm going to do is hover over on the home tab to where it says sort and filter. And then I'll choose custom sort. And in here, you'll see that the first one, it's sorted by state in ascending order. I'm going to choose add a level, and I want it now to sort by city and also in A to Z order, and then click OK. So that we still have Connecticut's first and then Massachusetts, and they're all in alphabetic order. So now, for some reason, if you wanted to just show Connecticut or just show Massachusetts, you can filter. And if you'll notice the up arrow in city and also in state, this indicates that it's been sorted alphabetically A to Z. So I could go in here and under the filter section, I could take off, uncheck MA for Mass, and it just shows Connecticut. Then you can see there's a icon in here, which looks like a filter, indicating that it's been filtered. So there are also, what you'll notice is that the row numbers are highlighted in blue, and you should notice that you're missing some numbers here from 11 to 18, so you should know that you're missing. So I can reverse it, put Mass on, and then take Connecticut out. And then again, you can see the numbers 5 to 12, the rows or something's missing, and I'll put both of them back on. All right, then while I'm looking at this, I noticed that, so I have all of the states, both Connecticut, Massachusetts, but I never did a total. So what you can do here in table design, and right now it's showing the home tab ribbon, I would click table design. Now, if you happen to be somewhere else in your worksheet, that table design does not show in the ribbon, the tab. You have to actually be somewhere in the table to have table design. So if you don't have it, it's because you're not anywhere in the table. So now I'll click table design tab, and in table style options, if you want to see what some of these table design options do, for example, the header row is row 5. If I uncheck it, it takes it off. So I don't know why you'd want to do that, but you could. The banded rows, which means the colors going blue, white, you could take that off if you wanted. Same thing with the first column. It puts it in bold. Last column, it puts it in bold, and banded columns. So it's up to you what you want to do. But I'm going to add total row. Now I only get one total right here in the last column, column G, so I'll click in G, and then I'll use my fill handle and go backwards to column C. And now I have totals. I will center my title, so I'm going to hover over A1 and go all the way to G and use my merge and center. You can change the font if you want, make it bigger, change the color of the font, maybe add some fill shading, you can, whatever you'd like. Maybe I'll go with blue so it matches the other. And let's see how it looks to print. So I'll choose File, Print. It all fits on one page, but it's up in the upper left corner of the screen. So I will go to Page Setup, and it fits nicely. I'll go to Margins. In the portrait, choose horizontal and vertical center on the page. Then I'll go to Header and Footer, and you can choose either custom header or custom footer. You're going to get the same three options. I will put in today's date, insert date. In the center, I will put the file name, and on the right, your first name, and OK, and OK. And there you have it. That's a save and submit. Thank you.